Coach, your team just wrapped its first scrimmage of the preseason to cap its first full week of preseason camp. How do you think your team looked?
I think there was areas we were really sharp. I think there was areas that need some work, which is about normal. We wanted to try to get as many guys as much work as we possibly can. We're still 2 weeks away from playing the game, so a lot of it had to do with, getting things installed, and we really got accomplished what we wanted to get accomplished in the first week or so, which was getting the guys acclimated, getting them used to being in a uniform. A lot of guys, especially the first-year players, haven't had a helmet and shoulder pads on since November. And so it's a little bit harder to do that, and there's no real preparation for the summer, during the summer for that. And so the older guys at least had an opportunity in the spring to put the gear on, and so there's little things like that and just learning the nuances of what we're trying to do. Obviously, a lot of changes on both sides of the ball, and then just getting guys acclimated. I think it went pretty well.
Your team was able to go in full pads for the first time this preseason on Monday. How do you think your squad has progressed from then until now?
I think we've had some ups and downs, which concerns me a little bit. I think there's times where the offense has really played well, and there's more times where the defense has really played well. And I think you'd see that as a culmination of what happened in the scrimmage. I think early on, first couple of series, the offense was a little bit ahead of what the defense was doing. Defense then elevated their game, where we got to kind of try to find some type of a balance. And that's a tough thing for me as a head coach when you're without before watching film to really assess what I really saw. You leave the field feeling good about one side of the ball, and then you remember you're the head coach, and you have to also be concerned about the other side of the ball. And so, I think there were some really good things. It's just a matter of putting everything together so we can get to the point where we can play a four-quarter football game.
A lot of new assistant coaches on your squad. What do you think the communication went like today between them and the players on both sides of the ball?
I think good. We haven't had a chance to meet yet, and so I think mainly I'm going to see more stuff offensively. But I'll talk with Coach McCoy. I think we burned one timeout on defense because we just had an alignment mistake. But if that's 1 out of 60 plays, I'm okay with that at this particular point. Just making sure we got guys in the right spots at the right time.
Finally, how do you want your squad to carry the momentum that was generated through the previous week plus into the upcoming weeks as you prepare for your September 1 season opener?
Well, I think what's going to happen, and hopefully it's renewed energy. They essentially have pretty much the weekend off. We'll have a short walk through in the afternoon tomorrow. We have first-year student orientation and transfer orientation, and so they've got to get some things done. And I think it's a really important time for those students. If the only reason why they're engaged here is because of football, they're not going to be very happy after November. And so it's really important that they really engage in what they do here now, this weekend, and then when we get back out on the field on Monday, we'll start talking about Bethany and the film stuff that we had from a year ago. I know they've made some changes just like we have, but we'll start preparing and start talking about that, and then that kind of gives you a little light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully that gives you a little bit more energy because we're getting ready for a ball game.